Welcome back. Amy Bell is with us from North Ark College, and we were going to talk about, and we will talk about the Economic Update Breakfast. What is the Economic Update Breakfast?
Well, you know, we do this a couple of times a year, and we always bring in an economic forecaster, someone who really knows what's going on in the economy. And this time around, we're having Kathy Deck. She's been here twice. She works at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Okay. She's one of the big wigs over there that does their economic forecasting for them. She talks a lot about what's going on in our local area, as well as Arkansas, and then a little bit about the national level. She talks about real estate, what businesses are doing well, stocks, agriculture, things that affect us in our local area.
Why isn't she in Washington, D.C. right now, helping us out?
That's a great question.
You need to go and ask her.
She would be a great resource for them, I think, because I've seen her do this twice, and I've been really impressed with all the information you get from her.
What does she give that we don't, that the rest of us don't know?
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't really keep up with things like the housing market and the way that what businesses are forecasted to do well in our area. How you can expect your stocks to do in certain areas. So that's just not on my radar. We have a lot of bankers attend. A lot of people financial analysts, financial planners attend, because I guess she is the expert in this area.
Wow,
but it's open to anyone.
Anybody can come. It's really inexpensive. It's $10 a ticket, and we feed you a full breakfast when you come. It starts at 7. She's usually done by 8:30. She does take questions, so if there's something you're specifically interested in, you know, see the presentation and then ask her, and she does a great job of answering those questions on the fly.
When does this happen?
Awesome. That is next Wednesday, August 24th, 7 a.m. in the Duran Center. Okay. And if you need a ticket, they're $10. Like I said, you can call my office, 391-3100.
Okay.
So please call us. We have about, I think before I left the office, I checked, and we had about 78 people already registered to attend.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah. So
is there any limit as to how many? Okay.
Well, I mean, as many as the Duran Center will hold.
Right.
So probably about 200 or 300. Yeah.
Well,
come on out.
Plenty of room.
Well, let's talk about something else. School's in session.
It is.
And these are non-credit classes. Now, when do they start? When school starts, or do they start
we try
all
to
around
wait.
the year?
We try to let our academic classes get started and get settled, because there's a lot of things that go along with that. And so our classes, the non-credit classes, start around September 1st. Okay. Now, not all of them start, as you know. We've talked about that before. We have to stagger them,
right?
Because we have over 65 classes, and I don't have 65 rooms on at the first of the semester available.
Exactly.
So we stagger them throughout the semester. A lot of them meet at the Duran Center. But we're getting so busy at the Duran Center, it's getting harder and harder to get a room there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Which is a good thing.
Yes, it's a great thing.
So what are some of the ones you want to highlight?
Okay. Well, people are always interested in computers. And so we've tried to add some new computer things this time based on feedback from our students. We have a lot of people take the Learn to Use Your Computer class. And obviously
that's probably a good thing.
That's the basic computers. These are the people who are really uncomfortable with the computer. They feel intimidated by it. We start with, here's how you turn it on, here's how you use the mouse. But we get into more in-depth things like how to use the internet. They a lot of times want to know how to email pictures back and forth with the family members. So we have that class. A lot of our students in that class said, I want to learn even more. But I still want to be with that group of people, that type of person who's not really good with the computer. So we added a second level, a level 2.
Oh, okay.
And so you can take the first and the second, or if you've already taken the first, you just enroll right into the second class.
Go at your own
We'll get
speed.
more in depth of things, maybe like Microsoft Word, touch on Excel, a little bit of Outlook, but a lot of internet, email usage, because that's normally what those students want in that class.
Are they consecutive, so you can take the first one?
They're back to back, So
now, do you have a lot of elderly people in those classes?
I'll say we have a lot of 50-plus students in those classes.
And that's kind of the age where we grew up without a computer in the schools. And if you're not really in a business where you use one every day, you just could care less about one.
That's right.
And then with Facebook and email, and just get to the point where, if you're going to
you need to be computer savvy.
Somebody,
you do.
Yeah.
You need to feel at least comfortable turning it on and getting on the internet,
right,
and doing some research or doing some email.
And I'm sure you help with safe tips as far as how to do all of this safely.
Yes, because those people, if you're not familiar with it, then that's something you are concerned about, obviously. So we covered that a little bit. So now they can get even more information than just the first class.
Who's teaching that?
Tabitha Sullins. She works in our registrar's office, and she's been teaching the class for me for quite a while.
Good.
And the students just really love her. The evaluations are so good on her. So, of course, I want to have her come back every time.
Certainly.
Yes.
And computers is one of those things. It's frustrating if you're not taught in the right way.
That's right. That's right. And especially if you're a beginner, you want someone who's going to spend a little one-on-one with you.
Yeah, you don't want a computer
not be
geek in there telling you
yes.
to type in C /:, whatever.
So Tabitha's the one for you. You need to come see her.
Okay, good.
Good deal.
So we offered some other computer things too. For people a little more computer savvy. We're doing a web design class. A lot of people want to do that, and it's just a day-long class. I'm bringing in a special instructor, a lady from Little Rock, who this is her thing. And so if you have a small business and you're wanting to design your website, she's going to teach you about HTML and all those weird, things that you need to know, where you're going to feel comfortable putting that together at little or no cost and getting your website going. So I think even if you're out there and you've got a website, I think it's a great class to come to. And if you learned, on your own, she's the expert here, and I think she can give you some really great tips. She's also doing a class for me called Social Networking. And so if you're new to social networking, if you want to know how to implement social networking in your business,
and meaning
how to get on
Facebook, Twitter, and those kind of things.
Is Facebook going to be right for your business? Is Twitter going to help your business at all? I know the conferences I go to for continuing educators, they're really pushing us to be on Twitter and to have followers and to post little tidbits about continuing education so that people will know what's going on in our program and be excited and be aware of our program.
But that is so time consuming. I mean, I
don't know because I don't use Twitter yet.
Yeah.
But
you probably will.
So I really can't comment, but I use Facebook a lot.
But
and it's such a great networking tool.
It is, but you go back before you used it, and then when you start comparing the time that you spend now and the time you didn't spend for it.
So I'm sure she would discuss the benefits versus the downfalls.
Right. And you invest whatever time you want to invest on it. I mean, you don't have to.
But, I know that one thing I have found is just a great free advertising for me in my program. And people who won't read the newspaper or pick up this little catalog will see a post on Facebook, and I'll get all kinds of, I'll fill up a class if I post something. So for me, it's been a great addition, but there's a lot about it that I don't know. And I think she will cover all those things.
Well, that'll be interesting for
that
people
would be
that
great.
want to know.
I think so too.
You bet.
And as a one-day class?
Just a one-day class.
Just one day
overview. Minimal amount of time. Yeah. So I think that's something, once again, people have been asking for these things, so we're adding them too.
Now you you have some new, some photo editing classes. We're still talking about computers.
Photography in general is so hot with us right now. We started with a photo basics class like a year or two ago. Now we have a second photo basics. We have photo intermediate, photo advanced.
Wow.
Now we have photo editing. Anything with photography in the name of the class is going to make, really quickly. The photo editing, we've been really successful with our Adobe Photoshop class. But Photoshop software is extremely expensive. I mean, it's $200 or $300 to buy it. With Windows 7 and Windows Vista, you get a photo editing software included already.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So it comes with your normal package. And so this class is about using that one to go in and edit your photos, not only clean them up, but add text to them, or some, there's a lot of digital scrapbookers out there who are adding pretty things to the pictures or cropping them a certain way. And so it's going to appeal to a lot of people at a much lower investment for those people to kind of
And if they're beginners, they can learn the techniques, and if they want to move up to Photoshop, they can.
Sure. We don't have a Photoshop class this semester. We're going to try this one, see how it goes. But if you're really, I think if you're really, because I took a Photoshop class, and I think that is more for people who do that daily. Because if you don't use it, that's a program you certainly lose it, because it is it is one of the more difficult programs that I've
Yeah,
used.
it is.
I'll say.
Yeah, it's pretty involved.
Yeah.
And then getting away from computers, you
Yes,
have some
yes.
new ones, quilting basics. Quilting.
We always have lots of fun things, don't we?
Yeah, you do. Sounds like you do.
So we have quilting, we have crocheting. So if you're into sewing, those are 2 classes that you might
Do you have a
be
sewing
interested
class
in.
too?
We don't have a beginning sewer class this semester. No. You need that?
I might.
I need it too.
I bought a sewing machine. I do a little bit,
Me
but
too.
I'm not.
I can hem something.
Well, you're on
that's about
Facebook
it.
so much, you don't have time.
And then on the front of your brochure, you've got
Oh, yes.
floral design and cake decorating. Why don't you touch
Yes.
on that?
Okay. Yeah, if you haven't seen our class schedule, it's around town. As you know, we
Everywhere.
distribute 18,500 of these all over Boone and Carroll County.
Mm-hmm.
And this time we decided to feature a couple of our instructors on the front. We have one instructor on the back. But Joni Edgman, she is our floral design instructor. We've got 2 new floral design classes this semester that she's come up with. She also does a wedding 101. It's like a one-night class. So if you're planning a wedding, I've had so many people take this and say that was a lifesaver for me to
Great.
tell me how to get organized. She is a wedding planner, so
Oh,
that comes in
wonderful.
handy.
You bet.
Marianne Iske on this side, she does our cake decorating class, also a very, very popular
I was
course.
going to say that seems to be a real popular.
Oh,
thing
yes,
for them.
yes. And hers is there's not a lot of supplies involved with her class. There are classes in the area where it's quite expensive to take it, and the curriculum is quite expensive. So this is just a good alternative, and she's been doing this for a long time.
Great.
Now you have
And-
your basics, dance.
We always have dance,
Dance.
some dance things. So we've got our Western dance. That's a
line
very
dancing,
popular
yeah.
class that we always have. Line dancing this time around, and that's with Tamsin
Simon?
Salmon. And many people know her in the area because she does the clogging. She has
Exactly.
a clogging
Yeah.
studio. And she contacted me early in the summer and said, I'd like to do a line dancing class. Now, so we talked to our Western dance teacher to make sure this is not the same thing.
Right.
We want these to be really different classes. And they both assured me that, yeah, these are different classes. So this is going to be more on a one-person that you going out and line dancing. It looks really fun. And she says, get your heart rate up and get a little exercise, too.
Sure.
Well, there you go. Benefit, health benefit too.
There's always a benefit to get to moving, isn't
You
there?
bet.
And then going into fitness, you have jujitsu. Is that right?
We've got jiu-jitsu this time around. Troy Holton, he teaches on the square jiu-jitsu. And when I talked to him about it, he's like, oh, yeah, I want to do it. He's just so excited about teaching
that says something.
that. He's like, I want to teach as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So we love to have new fitness things on the schedule because that's something that does really well for us. And I'm not familiar with jiu-jitsu, so I had to get on his webpage and see what it is. And it is a full contact sport.
Yeah.
So, just knowing that up front, because I thought about it, taking it, and then as I watched the sparring,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're wrestling, and probably not for me.
Maybe you're a more
I
yoga
think,
type.
I think there are a lot of people in our community that this will appeal to. We
have
have
yoga.
Yoga, we have a couple of new yoga classes. Asha Ravari's been teaching for me for quite some time, and she's always listening to the students. She had such a great class last semester, and they told her, I think this is what we want now. And so she's constantly changing up, so it's not the same class every semester. And so if you have those returning students, they're going to get something new
That's
out of
great.
it. Yeah. So she's got a basic class for people who are new to it, like that would be me. And then she's got her intermediate class for people who know the basics. They want to get something new, and
Right.
something fresh. She is such a great teacher. I don't know if y'all have ever met her.
I've not,
She was here
have
on
we-
the show, I think.
She is-
with
I
the
think
first
you're
yoga
right. I
instructor.
think
She
that we
is
had.
like the epitome of yoga
Yeah.
to me.
Oh, yeah.
She's the most even-keeled,
She came
centered
in
person.
wrapped up as a pretzel. I mean, she was all bent around. And then you still have language classes, French and Spanish.
And that's what we featured on the back of the schedule is our Spanish instructor. She teaches
Okay.
conversational Spanish for us.
Okay.
Which
So-
is becoming more and more
Oh,
applicable
gosh,
in
it's-
today's time.
Yes. It's something that I think everybody in our area needs to know
Yeah,
a little bit of.
At least a little bit.
And she teaches Spanish over at the Berryville School District.
Oh,
And,
wonderful.
and speaking of which, you have some Carroll County classes.
Yes, we have a lot of Carroll County classes in the schedule this time around. Our Carroll County Center, if you haven't been there, it's in the Bobcat Plaza in Berryville. And we opened it a few years ago, and it has just exploded over there. Not only with the non-credit, but on the credit side. It's
Great.
amazing. We've
That's
expanded.
good.
We've taken over another portion of the building. The classes are doing so great, and so we've got about 12 classes just on the non-credit side over there, and really just seeing an increase in the number of students. So if you do live in that area, look for the
Check
catalog.
that out,
yeah,
for sure.
We distribute a whole separate flyer over there too, just for them. And we've had a lot of calls about that Learn to Use computer class over there in the past couple of days.
Great.
Awesome. Well, it looks like you've got a new printer because they printed it right from front to back.
I've changed the way I print it. I did. And my graphic
You gotta
designer
change
is
things
so
up.
happy with me.
I bet they are. Yeah.
We're very fortunate in this area to have North Ark.
I
here
think so.
And all that
I
it
think-
has to offer,
I
and the
think so,
non-credit
too.
courses as well as the credit.
I know this is I get a lot of feedback from the community about us doing this because we don't have to. And I meet with most of the people who do what I do around the state, and they're jealous of what we have up here because some of the universities have big programs like ours as far as the non-credit goes, but most of the tier colleges don't. I'll get a flyer in the mail from them, and it'll be maybe 6 classes. And so we really are fortunate, and it's really been the administration of North Ark has really pushed this and supported it. That's why we have this. And I think if it ever were to go away, our students would,
They would miss it for sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But it's, hey, it's a great job.
Yeah, and we just want to let people know that these are non-credit class
Right.
schedules, and they're all throughout the year, and they're at different times. Some classes are one day, and some classes are several weeks long.
That's right. Different prices, different times.
And if you didn't get one of these in the mail, we
Ooh,
encourage
call
you
me.
to come by or call Amy
Yeah.
Bell at
You
the
can also
college.
go online and look, right?
Yeah. Oh, we have a great new website. Yes, thank you for saying that. Our website's northark.edu/CE, so you can just directly link to it.
Okay.
And our IT department went in and redesigned it for me this semester. It looks so great. It's so customer friendly. It's an easy way to look at the schedule, easy way to register
You can register online.
Yes, so please go out there and look at it if you don't have one.
But before you take your computer classes, you might want to pick one of these out.
Yeah, call me 391-3100. We'll get
All
you
right.
fixed up. We'll get you in the class.
Good
Yes.
deal. Amy,
Well,
thanks a
thank
lot
you,
for coming. It's
Amy.
always
Thank you
a
for
pleasure
having
for
me
you to be
again.
with us. And come back the next semester.
You know I will.
We wish all the
bet.
students a fabulous year.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Me
Thanks
too.
so much, Amy.
Thank
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll talk with Shirley Childs, and she's going to be telling us about a Parkinson's Walkathon. Stay with us.